Once upon a time, in a small country town, a very beautiful woman fell in love with the priest of her parish, and this one, unable to resist her charms, surrendered. Wait one moment. Was it really like that? Maybe it was like this. Once, a priest from the parish of a distant village fell in love with the most beautiful of his faithful, and she, unable to resist the passion, gave herself up, and they loved each other inside the church, over and over again. Or, it just happened like this. A man and a woman loved each other, but because he was a priest, the lovers were cursed. And thus the legend of the headless mule arose. However, to this day we don't know whether it was the priest or the beautiful woman who suffered the curse of turning into a mule. Honestly, I think it was both. Maybe at first it was just her, because at that time the blame fell on the woman. Usually, the woman was the sinner, the evil witch who seduced the priest. Later, the priest also ended up paying his fair share of Christian morality, and that is why the legend gained many names such as Burinha do Padre, Headless Priest, Black Mule, and Marola in Mexico. It seems that its origins date back to the medieval times of the witch hunt. The Portuguese brought this story to Brazil around the 16th century. There are versions of this legend in many countries such as Argentina, Spain, Mexico, etc. It is known that the North American version of the Headless Horseman is considered a variation on the same theme. It seems that the Headless Mule originated from the mythology of the people of the Iberian Peninsula and was brought from there by the Spanish and Portuguese. Above all, this legend that became popular comes from the latent paganism of some popular practices at the time. It was adapted by the Judeo-Christian society in order to moralize behaviors that would be unacceptable by the new emerging society. Hence, it is also equated with the legends of witches in Western Europe. The mule was chosen, and not any other animal, because it represents the means of transportation exclusively used by priests in the 12th century. Here in Brazil, it is most popular in the states of Minas Gerais, Goiás, and Mato Grosso, although it is known throughout the country. The headless mule makes its appearances in villages and in those small towns where there is a square in front of the church and the houses around it. Every time from Thursday to Friday, she chooses a crossroads, and there she transforms into the beast. When she comes to, the cursed woman will be completely naked, sweaty, and exhaling a strong smell of sulfur in allusion to the devil who, when he appears, leaves the smell of this chemical element in the air. If someone runs past a cross right at midnight, the headless mule appears and follows, trotting with its silver hooves, and even though it is said that it has no head, you can hear the sound of its neighing and fire coming out of their noses. According to those who have seen it, it is a terrifying spectacle. Sometimes it appears to cry as if it were a person, and other times its galloping is accompanied by long neighs. Her mind also undergoes changes, so even though she was a woman with delicate manners, with the transformation, she goes crazy, kills cattle, scares people, destroys, and creates confusion. On the night in which he transforms, he must travel through 7 villages starting from the one where the sin occurred, and if someone suddenly crosses his path, his eyes, nails, and fingers will be duly torn out, which is why, according to the belief of the people, who upon seeing you must lie face down on the floor and hide your eyes, nails, and teeth well to avoid being attacked. When someone with a lot of courage appears, which hasn't happened yet, and removes the iron brakes from their mouth, the spell will be undone and the headless mule will return to being people completely free from the curse. Grateful, she will marry her benefactor,